Putin's shocking Quran kiss. Look at those smoochers. Um, in a calculated move, Russian President Vladimir Putin shocked the world by kissing a gold encrusted Quran during a surprise visit to Chechnya, where he met with the region's strongman, Ramzan Kadyrov. This unexpected display comes hot on the heels of Putin's new decree offering a refuge for those who reject destructive neoliberal values and embrace Russia's hardline stance on traditionalism. Saying, quote, "We welcome those who oppose the erosion of moral values," Putin declared, as the decree waives typical residency requirements for those fleeing liberal ideologies. The visit also brought to mind the case of Nikita Zhural- Zhuravel, a man who was sentenced to prison earlier this year for burning a Quran in what the Russian authorities claim was a stunt orchestrated by Ukrainian intelligence, of course. Putin's Quran kiss wasn't just a symbolic gesture, it was a declaration of Russia's role as a global bulwark against Western liberalism, signaling his regime's deepening embrace of religious conservatism. So there was this little interesting incident that occurred, and I just thought it was kind of funny to talk about in the context of a few other things that have happened in Russia. So one of them was that I learned recently about an incident that happened in February, which was there was a young man who I think was 20 no, excuse, like 19 years old at the time, who burnt the Quran and posted a video of it. Well, this man ended up getting sentenced to prison, and he got shipped off to Chechnya, which I don't know if you guys know about Chechnya, but the Muslims in Chechnya do not fuck around. And so, as punishment, this guy got shipped off to Chechnya, where the little tyrant that Putin put in charge of Chechnya to keep that place, keep the lid on that place, so they don't go all boom boom on the rest of Russia. So he put a little strongman in place to keep an iron grip on it, create his own little miniature kingdom fiefdom that he just rules. So he sent him off to Chechnya. So this guy's son, what's his name again? Kadyrov. The son of Kadyrov then posted a video of his son abusing the guy that burnt the Quran in custody and praising his son for assaulting this dude who got sent to jail for this while he was in custody. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up. I literally also saw a video of his son shooting like golden machine guns. It's like a Sacha Baron Cohen movie or something. It's crazy. So I thought that was very interesting in the context of Putin going to the Chechen region to try to kind of stir up some support given how badly their war effort is going right now. And in that context, he's like, okay, I'm going to hand over this dude that burnt the Quran over to the Muslims. They can do what they want with him. I'm going to go over there. I'll go be kissing the Quran and stuff. Meanwhile, at the same time, I sent this to Armin. I thought this was so funny. Russia is also in the process of making it easy for people to escape neoliberalism, which I don't know what that means to them because half the time when people say neoliberalism, they're just like making up they're not being really operational with their term. So for the people that need to flee the LGBT degeneracy of the West, the warm embrace of Mother Russia is open to all of her children, which is also hilarious because I've read reports about families of like eight like a parents and eight children in Canada who literally got so sucked into this like neo trad movement that they decided to literally upend their lives and move to Russia. And you go read profiles of the families that went to go do this, and their life sucks now. They're like, "Oh, this actually um is made my life substantially harder now. I've made a mistake. So all of these three different things just taken in conjunction was extremely amusing to me, and I wanted the excuse to talk about it. Um, Armin, when I brought this to your attention, what was your reaction?
I was like, beta, Putin submitting to Islam. Oh my God, so pathetic. This is supposed to be your strongman, so pathetically weak. Oh, also, the Ukrainian have become Russians, Jews, blaming everything. Everything that happens that they don't like is like, oh, this was the Ukrainian. It basically the same way that the rest of the world treats the Jews. That's what Putin is doing to Ukraine. Anything that happens in Russia that they don't like, they're blaming it on Ukraine.
The Ukrainians
Like
stole
the
my
ISIS,
shoes.
yes, ISIS attacks. They're like, oh, these were Ukrainian. Oh my God, so embarrassing. By the way, let's watch the video of Putin being a beta submitting to Islam. Look at this. This is him kissing the Quran. Wait, one more time, one more time. Yeah. So that was that. Pathetic.
What do you think about Putin doing these things to satisfy the sentiments of the Chechen region, like sending that guy that burnt the Quran to just be at their mercy?
I mean, it shows how desperate he is right now. He's like he's very weak. His country is pathetically weak, and he acts like a superpower. But look at the people he has to go and submit to just to be able to get some support. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, and I think like he knows, like deep down, he must know how much he demonstrated to the world how weak Russia is and how much weaker he's making Russia. I mean,
Mhm.
technically, this is all for the good. I think like the Ukrainians are doing the whole world a service by because the three main powers in the world that are anti this world liberal order is Putin, the Islamic Republic of Iran, and North Korea. And I never include China in this list because as much as China likes to pretend that they're against the West, at the end of the day, we all know how much they're invested in this liberal order and the trade system that the whole liberal powers are maintaining. They're too ingrained into the system for them to be against it. They are, they might speak tough here and there, but they are actually one of the main defenders of it, right? So China is not on this list at all. It's Putin, the Islamic Republic, and North Korea. And among these three, Putin, Putin's Russia was the most powerful when it comes to being a threat. So Ukraine is basically making this force against this liberal order weaker for the rest of the planet, and we all should be like the fact that Russia is now stuck in this whole mess is making them weaker and weaker, and the whole world should be grateful to the Ukrainians for basically paying the heaviest price for making this happen.
What do you think about Putin's, offering refuge to those
I
persecuted
mean,
under Western neoliberalism?
it's fucking pathetic. The guy that supports torturing gay people and sends people for to be tortured to this Islamic regime just because they've been blasphemous, right? The person who makes all his political enemies disappear or poisons them or kills them, right? I think there was one of them down here. Takes hostages from dual citizens, right? This Russia is like acting like they are supporting like it's, I mean, it's a joke. It's obviously a joke. Like it's pathetic. It's pathetic. And the fact that people like Andrew Tate are supporting, like, or they're crying about their free speech being violated in Western countries, and at the same time defending Putin, shows that these people have no consistent ideology. It's insane.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, for all the people that are feel terrorized by the rainbow flags in their grocery store, feel free to go over to Russia and see how much your life is better. Oh
Yeah, and
my god, I can't
Tucker Carlson.
escape the LGBT agenda, so I'm gonna give up all of my rights.
Yes, yes. And Tucker also, Tucker was such an idiot. He went to Russia. He's like, oh my god, look how much better this place is. I go to a grocery stores and things are cheap. You
For
fucking
you, you
moron.
have American purchasing power, you dumbass.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes, I mean, anybody like Susie, you don't have an economic degree, and you just understood that you don't just look at how much it costs. You have to measure it relative to the purchasing power of the people who live there. You absolute idiot! Like, how could you be Tucker Carlson, be such a famous political commentator and not understand these basics? These are basic principles, and he was bragging about how cheap things are in Russia. That's insane. What a fool. Yeah.
um,
Anyway,
yeah, this is where Americans fail to understand how much being paid in USD gives you the ability to live it like a freaking king elsewhere in the world. It's actually, yeah, shocking how much people don't understand that. Very true for European and
right.
American if they don't, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so let's go to some super chats. GJ is saying, yeah, in Putin's head, all Ukrainians equal fascists. I don't know how familiar you are with the propaganda against Ukraine from the Russian side of things, but the entire justification for why they're having their special operation is because they need to denazify Ukraine.
Right.
That's the whole
Especially,
narrative. They need to denazify Ukraine. um
right.
this is just funny this made me laugh. Angie is saying, as an LGBT person, this is gay.
Yeah. Awesome.
What? Are
That's
you gay? Um, and that will never get old. GJ also gave a super chat saying, okay, Armin, thanks for educating me on the correct use of Iran versus Persia, but my age, but my two Iranian Dutch friends both prefer Persia. Iran equals soiled like swastika. One named her kid Parsa and Parnia. No, those are
yeah, but your friends are wrong, right? You're just because your friends are Iranian, that doesn't make them right. Refer your Iranian friends to Reza Pahlavi, Reza Shah, and remind them that he officially changed the name of the country from Persia to Iran, um, before the Islamic Revolution. And also, throughout Iranian history, the name of this land was Iran,
You
not
know,
Persia.
I think this might be a phenomenon of older generations of diaspora Iranians, like the
Yes.
friends of my mother who literally escaped the Islamic Republic that were Iranian Jews. They prefer to call themselves Persian. I think partially because, especially for that generation, Iran just equaled the Islamic Republic. And also,
Hmm.
there's some people because at least in America, people are very unfamiliar with the region. They get Iran and Iraq confused.
Yeah, they
And
don't
they're
want to
like,
be
no,
mixed
I'm
with
not
Arabs.
Iraqi, I'm Persian. Like, so
Yeah.
they use that to try to further distinguish themselves. But that's a
Yeah.
generalization, but
So,
I have noticed that with older people.
which is interesting because the actual name of Iran and Iraq in their own languages sound nothing like each other. One of them is Iran, the other one is Iraq, Iran. But in English, for some reason, just um, coincidentally, they turned out to sound like each other, Iran and Iraq. And because in English they sound like each other, a lot of Iranians don't like to be considered Arab, and they don't want their country to be considered an Arab country, and that's why they don't like the fact that Iran just sounds so much like Iraq. So they want to use Persia, because they think that then you're going to recognize that they're not Arabs. I think
Wait,
that those are the
per-
sensitivities.
Do you know who makes the most amazing, gorgeous, and other adjectives that I can't use here on YouTube, blasphemous art ever? We do! And for some reason, we are giving it away for free. Download them now using the link in the description before we change our mind.